From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military establishment. And they are not what they claimed to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off. And I was thinking to myself then when I was bringing the show in, because as I said on the last show, Oliver is on holiday. I'm joined today by Danny Mercy, which is fucking awesome. But I was just about to turn around and say that Ollie's, how was I going to put it? Ollie's not on the show today. So the show is a little less feminine, and I realized that's it's not insulting the right person, is it?
Thank you. I don't know. I mean, I've never heard you call him Oliver. I feel like, is that like that's his legal given? That's his government name.
It is. Well, I only use it. I only use it when I'm angry at him. That's what it is.
I can tell that you're mad at him. He's over there just failing. He's not even here to defend himself.
let's be perfectly honest. It's not like he can when he's here. I
try to be on Ollie's side when I'm here. I try for that guy, but man, he's tough to defend sometimes.
You can see, like the more time you spend with him, it's like, oh, right, like it's not an act.
He's just who he is. Okay, he's just who he is.
So how have you been?
I've been good. I took a couple weeks where I didn't do satanic crazy conspiracies because I was having some wild nightmares. So I kind of chilled out.
Tell me, because we did a show ages ago about Aleister Crowley, and me, Ollie, and Dave all I wouldn't say it was I wouldn't go as far as say it was like a group dream, but we all had dreams about terrible things happening to family members on the same night, to the point where it was shocking enough for three guys to get on a phone call together and go, did you have fucking dreams about stuff happening to your wife and kids and shit?
It actually, that makes me wonder if they're inserting dreams into our head, which sounds crazy, but we're conspiracy theorists, so we can say shit like that because and I've done a little bit of research into things intrusive thought devices, where they can put thoughts in, and actually it's more for your dreams. They can kind of manipulate your dreams, because that's kind of what my dreams were like. Is that because I've been doing all this research, and actually it happened right after I finished the Rothschilds. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. But basically I've done Pizzagate. I mean, within the last 6, 7, 8 months, I did Pizzagate. I did the Franklin scandal. I did, Madeleine McCann, I did the Red Shoe Club, I've done the Rothschilds, I've done the Vatican. So I've done these back to back to back, and right now, as we speak, I'm working on Jeffrey Epstein. So I've kind of gone back to back to back, where it's child predators, Bohemian Grove, people being ritualistically fucked up to children. So in my dreams, it was my children. Oh. And I couldn't, I was forced, I was tied down, forced to watch. And so it was like real. I mean, it was enough to scare me into doing 2 episodes that weren't about crazy shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It can get a lot. It's really weird. Just you got me thinking about Madeleine McCann thing there. How did you think of doing that episode? Because I obviously I remember the Madeleine McCann thing being a massive thing in the UK, like when it happened, and I was shouted at. I was an apprentice at the time, and we were all because there was no smartphones there because I'm fucking old. We were reading newspapers at brew time, and everyone like so. There's pictures of like Madeleine McCann's mother on the front of every newspaper, and I wasn't like apart from maybe having the hangover of like UFOs from watching the X-Files as a kid. I wasn't really like into anything like the internet wasn't like a thing, so it's not like I could go and like research stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember turning around to them and saying like, because in the band I was in, I'd just done like a load of photo shoot stuff, and I remember saying to the guys at work saying like, she's done a photo shoot for this. You don't look like that, like she is on the front of this newspaper without doing a photo shoot. Who the fuck does a photo shoot when the daughter's missing?
Well, I just got a picture sent to me. So my listeners send me things all the time, and this connects to what you're saying. And it was of JonBenet Ramsey.
How many of those do you keep?
Oh, I mean, well, some of them, like I just save them on Instagram because like I'll reference back to them. People are like constantly sending me like videos and pictures and different things that refer to different conspiracy theories that I might, or things that I would be interested in, right?
Or we get sent different stuff.
Oh no,
I get like photoshops of Ollie with animals.
Oh yeah, my listeners are nice to me. They actually like me. I think that your listeners don't like you.
As long as they listen, I don't care.
But no,
they just need attention, not kindness.
They're sending like conspiracy theory things, and somebody sent me a picture. It was of JonBenet Ramsey, and she was somewhere. I can't remember the exact picture now, but in the background, the head is kind of turned. It's turned away from the camera, so you kind of see like most of the back of the hair and the nose. And you know who it is?
It's fucking
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yep. In
the back of the JonBenet Ramsey picture. So then I'm like, fucking, and she was about the same age as Madeleine McCann. Mm-hmm. There's a couple years difference, but still.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that like Madeleine McCann's parents were physicians. JonBenet Ramsey's dad was like, he was like a finance guy or an insurance guy. He was like high up in like some company. So I don't know.
That with JonBenet Ramsey, that was the pageant
Boulder,
girl,
Colorado.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And did she went missing and then she just appeared dead in the cellar? Was that it?
Yeah. Like they swore that they checked the basement and then they found her down there later. And then like they kept saying that it was the mom that did it or like the dad because she was a pageant girl and mom used to be a pageant girl and she got like jealous or something. I don't think that's what happened. But
what do you think happened?
For a while I thought it was the brother. Like for a long time I was like, because I wanted like the warm and fuzzy I wanted the warm and fuzzy version where the brother killed his sister because she got too much attention. Like that's how you know my brain's so fucked. Like the warm and fuzzy version of this story is that the brother killed her or like the parents were involved or something. I don't think that's what it was. Now I think that they sold her, but then they found her body in the basement. So I'm like,
did they get charged?
No.
Who got what? Because you find a dead child in your basement, someone has to be to fucking blame at that point. You know,
no, but they acted really weird, like the McCanns. Like they basically like packed up and moved to Atlanta right away. It was very odd. I don't know. I've listened to a couple podcasts about the story, but I'm not like an expert about JonBenet by any means of the word.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of theories about it. I've actually thought about doing a whole episode, maybe 2 episodes on JonBenet because I think there's something there. Kind of like Madeleine McCann. I think there's something there.
Oh, there's something definitely there with the Madeleine McCann stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When you were doing the research to that, did you come across what she said when she got to the table? When
they took her.
I thought it was we've really let her down this time.
Oh. I don't remember that. I don't know. I can pull up my notes.
Yeah, but it's
been a while.
It's so crazy, and the fact that those photo fits look like John and Tony Podesta, and then there was the other one, wasn't it, that looked like Ghislaine Maxwell, but I could never work out whether that was actually a real one. And then the two guys were supposedly was the like cover story for that is that they were two artists' impressions of the same person, supposedly the same person.
Right. Yeah, it was supposed to be the same person, but it was just the way it was described or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to explain everything away, but I don't think it makes sense. And I think that maybe I did hear that that's what she said when she got to the table, but then in my brain, this is again warm and fuzzy in my brain. I don't know why I try to do this. It's for my own mental health, but I'm like, maybe things mean something different in the UK, like the way words are like phrased than they mean here.
I know all of that's weird as fuck.
So then I was like, I don't know.
Even just leaving your kids like that.
Right. I brought that up on your guys' podcast when I came on right after that. Because like she left the two twins in the room where Madeleine McCann had just disappeared from and then ran back to get the other adults.
Yeah.
You're not scared. Firstly, okay, at first I was like, yes, I would be holding on to my babies as tight as possible. But like, I'm very close with my friends and like my friends' kids are like my kids. Like I would grab my babies and start collecting children. Like, because her friends are in the rooms like adjacent. So I would go to each room and start collecting children. Are your children there?
Yeah. Well,
no.
Like, so I was away with my son a few days ago, and so we're in a hotel room. I needed to iron a shirt before we went out, so the service room was like 2 doors down on the same floor as us from our hotel room. Like, so I was going to get an iron. I was going to be 30 seconds. Even being 30 seconds, I turned around to Arthur. I was like, I've got a key. I'm gonna I don't open the door. It's just like if someone knocks, it's not me because I've got a key. And I was a maximum of 30 seconds, and I was still on edge leaving that room for 30 seconds.
We leave the house. So like I live in the middle of nowhere. So like I'm still on my property, but like my kids will be sleeping and we'll leave the house, like just go outside. But I'm watching them constantly. I feel like I'm always watching them. And I think maybe that's like the age, right? Like I have a baby monitor. I can see in like 4K if my baby is breathing or not. So like, I don't know. Things are so different now. And like, we've done that where we're out and about and we'll like FaceTime. Like we did that. We went to a hotel, kind of the same thing. Like we needed to leave the room for something, but it wasn't going to be a long time. So we FaceTimed on one of our phones and set it up to where we could see our child. And then we left the room to go do whatever we were going to do really quick. And then we came right back, but we could watch him the whole time.
Yeah.
We were still in the hotel rooms, or like the hotel, not the room, but the hotel. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but like
the idea of going for a full meal, like just go, sitting down, having drinks. It's there's that was clearly a situation. There was a situation that was a manufactured opportunity for somebody to do something.
Yeah, but okay, devil's advocate here for just a second. The time frame, like the timing or the time of like when it happened, right? Because it was in a different time than what it is now. So maybe it was more common for them to leave the room. Like maybe like parents didn't care as much. I don't know.
I don't think so. Because
like in the 70s when there's all these abductions and it's like parents were just letting their kids like do whatever outside and like come home whenever you're done.
Yeah, but we were still what 2000. It was pretty 2005, 2006. Yeah. So in the UK, did you hear about the
2007?
2007. So if I just let me look for something.
Because I'm like, I don't know, like maybe like now we're super into technology, we're super into like watching our kids, but like in the 70s and 80s, we were like, whatever, kids will come back whenever they're done, and sometimes they didn't come back.
No, you see, like have you heard of James Bulger?
Mm-mm.
He was a child that was killed by 2 other boys in 1993 in England. I might be forgetting something, But in the UK, like everything changed the way parents were with the kids when that happened, because he was in a supermarket. These boys like took him because he kind of wandered off in a supermarket. They took him to train tracks. They tortured him. Like, it was horrific, the worst you can possibly hear or think of. And like it was such a huge story, and that was kind of in the UK, at least. I think it is anyway. That's the way I look at it. It was the beginning of the I don't know, like like parental overreach maybe, and like helicopter parenting sort of thing, where people just fucking on top of people all the time. So I just don't see it. I mean, maybe that's different. Maybe it's just my family and how I was brought up, but there's just no chance. There is no chance I'd have been left like that. There's no chance that my son would be left like that. Like, in that.
See, situation. I think about it like when I was a kid, my parents, we would just tell them like, "Hey, we're going to the park," and they didn't know what park we were going to or where we were going. We were just like left the house, and we were like, my parents definitely raised us more like
foreign country.
No, we never traveled outside the country.
No, but that's what I mean. They were in a foreign country as well.
Yeah, see, that's where it's like weird too, right? Because like now my kids are at the park and I don't want to be the helicopter parent where like every time they fall, I'm like there to pick them up. But also I listen to so many true crime. I do so much like conspiracy theories. I'm like, okay, I can't let you just go to the other part of the playground where I can't potentially see you. Or if like you're right in this one area, I can't see you. Like I start to panic a little bit.
Yeah.
So like I walk around with them and I like try to keep my distance so they don't feel like I'm there to catch them when they fall, which is not the point. The point is like if somebody tries to take them, I'm gonna kill you. Don't touch my child. Don't touch my kid. I'll kill you.
I had a very like similar situation to that when I was away with mine, because obviously the UK is very much we were in Coventry, and it from what appeared to me to be there is that if Coventry is a fair example right now of diversity is our strength, and I wanted fucking eyes on him at all times. Like, they didn't matter whether we were in a shopping centre, whether we were out and stuff like that, and I was on edge. I was on edge a lot when we were out and about.
I get like that. Like I want to take the boys to like fun things. Like we'll go to an amusement park and I'm like, don't let go of my hand. Or you're gonna be like, we have a wagon stroller, so they can be in the wagon, or they have to be holding a hand. I want them to have fun, but the problem is like I don't trust the world. So
no, it's a shitty place. It's
awful.
It's like going back to what you were saying before about intrusive thoughts, and I just wonder how much of the like extremism that's everywhere. See, I struggle with this massively because at heart, I always think of myself as like a pretty much a free speech, like absolutist. Like I think people should just be able to say what they want when they want, and we can then use that as a judge on someone's character. So it's like, oh, right, you're a fucking horrible person, so I don't need to interact with you anymore. But on the other hand, there is part of me that wonders, with there being so much like extreme content out there now, does it seep more into people? Is there people out there that the reason we see like attacks and like abductions and abuse cases and stuff like that, like skyrocketing, is it a case of we've got so much like twisted stuff out there that there's a load of people? Like, do you ever think to yourself, how many people walk around on the edge? Do you know what I mean? Like, how many people are like, they're just disturbed enough that you think just the right mix of environments here, and like you could kill an entire room.
So I think that there's always been people like that, though. Like, I think that now, and this is where I wonder what social media is doing to our world, because now we can see it all. Like, now people are recording everything. So I don't think that the abuse has gotten worse. I think that it's a couple different, I mean, maybe it's gotten a little bit worse, but like, I think there's a couple different things here. I think that, firstly, we're seeing it. Like we can actually see it online all the time at our fingertips. Whenever we want to, we can see a wife beating. We see like social experiments out on the street where like a guy will slap his girlfriend as a social experiment to see who will interact, and then vice versa, the girl will slap the guy to see who will react, right? Like you can see these things all the time because people are doing this in public. And then also, if somebody sees that happening, then they're going to take a video of it and they're going to post it online because now they're like trying to blow it up or whatever. Yeah. So I think that we see it more, but then because we see it more, we kind of think it's more okay. And so that's where I think it is a double-edged sword as well, because it's like, yes, we're seeing this all the time. Also, because we see it, it's more okay. But then social media has gotten people so separated from real life. Like that's why we get awful comments. That's why people on the internet are so like, there's trolls and there's people that are like trolls or whatever, right? But there's people that are just awful on the internet because they don't actually have a relationship with the person they're like commenting on, right? So they don't realize,
probably both their parents.
Right, that's true too. But like they don't realize that like the person, like these comments are actually affecting this person, but you don't have a relationship with that person. Like you don't have anything, like any connection to them. They're just a random stranger on the internet, and you think that the internet separates you from them. But really, it's like if they were in this room, would you say that same thing to them?
Yeah, it's. I always find stuff that's funny, especially like doing like content creation, because it. I mean, I say people don't know how much work you put in, but people must have an idea that like
I don't think they do.
I like to think that if someone listens to like an hour and a half of us and goes, that was a fucking good podcast, I like to think they didn't think it just dropped out of the fucking sky.
Oh yeah, I guess that yeah.
But but it would be like so let's say you get like shitty comments on this, which again really doesn't matter. It really doesn't bother me at all. But just for sake of argument,
right?
So you get like a shitty comment on like an episode or something like that. It's almost like walking up to somebody like that's working in a supermarket or something like that, or that passes you a coffee and there's like coffee on the lid or something like that, and go, "What are you doing, dickhead? Like, just fucking do your job properly, you cunt." Right. And it's like, yeah, it's just a strange way. You'd never like. Some people are ignorant, but you would never be as fucking brutal as people can be online.
That's why I like wonder. This is like the troll part of my brain where I'm like, I want to find those people that leave those really nasty comments and then go and say what they said to me to them in real life at their job and see what they think. Like, do you think that's appropriate? I didn't think it was either. Thank you. I would never do that, but it's crossed my mind. But I don't know.
No, it is. It's weird. But like back to abuse. You've been.
I had a really hard time swallowing that. I took a big drink right before you said that.
Jesus, someone's gonna fucking clip that for notorious purposes.
Oh God, please don't. Please don't.
So you've been doing like a load of research on the Epstein thing, haven't you? We've done a couple of episodes on Epstein now because of the like brouhaha, which is,
oh my God, this is so dumb.
Where do you land on it? Like, I mean, I'll get off the fence early, and maybe I am I'm just prime sheep, and like the Rothschilds are rubbing their hands together, going, if we can get the conspiracy theories, we can get anyone. I'm starting to wonder whether the entire Epstein like abuse scandal has been like put out to hide something else.
Yes. I mean, always. I think it goes deeper than what it is, and I think, I yes and no. I think that the abuse is real. I don't think that that's like made up thing. I think that we have such a pattern of abuse, and it's been for so many years, and it's not just Epstein, right? Like the Franklin scandal was back in the 80s and 90s. The 80s. Pizzagate was back in 2016, which wasn't that long ago, but still, like, we can go back and we can trace, like, how many times and how many different decades and how many different scandals we have to look at before we're like, okay, they rape children for fun, right? I hate that I even said that out loud.
So does the algorithm. Carry on.
Just cut that part out. Just blanket, like, beep.
That's fine.
They beep children for fun. Anyway, so we can see that that's a real thing. I think that Epstein was bigger than that, but they're like, no. Here, look, you're right. It's the children aspect of it. Just look at that. Don't look at any of the other things that are happening behind the fence, like behind the curtains, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, yes, they're like, here's a little carrot. You're welcome. Focus on that. Then you won't focus on all the other things.
Wild. Like what could? I mean, we know there was an eugenics Epstein had a plan to impregnate all these women, so to carry his genes forward and stuff like that. So we know that there's an element of eugenics to Jeffrey Epstein. But what could be bigger than like Fuck Island being a real thing?
No, Fuck Island was a real thing, but they weren't just fucking kids there.
No, that's what I mean. But like but what could be if that story has been pushed out to paper over something else?
The experiments that they were doing on the people that were there.
Go on.
So you told me to listen to the podcast Diary of a CEO, which I'd never heard of before, but apparently it's a big podcast. So I listened to Eric Weinstein. Is that his name?
Yeah. First one I've ever listened to myself. It's just because I like Weinstein. He's good.
Oh, I didn't like him.
Oh, no.
All in all,
he's cool.
I feel like he was kind of all over the place, and I was like, I don't know. It was hard to follow. And then also he spoke in fragments. This is just my personal opinion of this guy, but the information that he put out about Epstein was interesting to me. I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. So he was saying that Epstein wasn't this great financier that we all have been told to believe, which okay, he probably dealt with money, definitely money coming in to him.
Yeah.
But he ran in circles of people that have a lot of money. So it's easy to be like, yeah, he was working with money. But Eric Weinstein was saying that he had a direct connection to Harvard mathematics.
Yeah.
Harvard math. And I was like, that is weird. And he was like, that's what I thought it was weird. But okay. Outside of listening to that podcast, I did not do any more research into that. I was like, I'll figure that out in a little while because I was busy with my personal life, right? I have other things to do. That's not just research. So I had listened to this and I was like, okay, that is weird that he wants to be in the math field. Like he's putting his fingers in math and science, which isn't finance. And also it just doesn't make sense. These kids aren't young enough. Which sounds fucked up. But in my brain, I'm like, the kids aren't young enough. So maybe he's grooming a couple of them, but that's not really the purpose of him being there. And Eric was like, no, he's interested. He's learning about the science. He wants to know something about the science. Well, then, and I don't know if you can pull this up. I don't even know how to send it to you. I can send it actually on.
Stick it in the private comments next to it and I can bring it up.
Let me see if I can find it. Give me just a second. Here it is. It's on Instagram.
If you're watching this,
it's on Instagram that somebody sent it to me. I don't know how to. Let me see if I can copy it.
Have you got it on your computer, on your browser?
Hold on. You gotta give me just a second.
Yeah, if you pop it into the either you bring it up or pop it into the comments there. Yeah, right. Weinstein did. He spoke in riddles and like you say, it was a very breadcrumby conversation, wasn't it? It was just like you need to go away and fill the blanks in on this,
right?
But it was also what I found most interesting about it was it didn't feel off the cuff.
It didn't. No, everything felt like it felt like there was so much more that he wanted to tell us, but he couldn't or he wouldn't.
Yeah, and it's even when there was something that the the interviewer said. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he said, "No, I already said that on
a different podcast."
Yeah, it was the Modern Wisdom he was talking about. He said, "I've already said that on a different podcast. You're getting a different interview."
Mm-hmm.
What a strange thing to say.
I thought that too, because I was like, I'd never listened to him before. But is he trying to put out bits and pieces in each interview? So we if we listen to all of them, we get the full story? Because he covered in that podcast, he covered UFOs and he covered physics and he covered, COVID and Epstein and so many things. I was information overload.
Ollie thinks there's something to do with the UFOs and Epstein. He thinks Epstein has a connection to 0 point energy or something like that. Yeah, I'll bring that link up. You give me.
So after I listened to that podcast, on my way over here to do this with you, I watched this video that one of my followers sent me, and it's Virginia. She says her last name. I'm gonna mess it up. It's Jufrey or something.
Guffrey, I think is how you say it. But
so this could be AI too. So I think that we should.
We have played this.
Oh, okay.
But no, I'm happy to play it again. And I'll just let me pause that. I thought there was enough in there to suggest, because obviously both of us do audio stuff, and both of us have edited a lot of audio. This to me doesn't sound computer generated. It sounds like it's been edited to cut the pauses out to make it flow better. Let's have a listen to it.
And switch activated automatically after I missed 2 scheduled check-ins. I had it set up months ago because I knew this day was coming. I did not die by accident. I was murdered to keep their secrets buried. My name is Virginia Louise Jeffrey. I was one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims. I survived Little St. James, but survival came at a price. I saw too much, knew too much, and now they've silenced me. But it's too late for them. They thought killing me would bury their secrets, but this video is going to a few organizations I trust, ones that have been exposing the truth for decades. You know who you are. It's your job to continue this fight. I was 16 when they reeled me in. I worked at Mar-a-Lago, folding towels, cleaning lockers. My father kept the tennis courts immaculate. We were just working folks trying to scrape by. Trump, he was around, but he was never the threat. The real predator was Ghislaine Maxwell, prim and proper, smiling, promising to teach me massage therapy at the Pink Mansion in Palm Beach. I had no idea I was being fed into a nightmare machine. Epstein's Island was hell disguised as paradise. You've heard some names linked to him, but those are just the sacrificial pawns. The real players, the ones they've protected at all costs, are still hiding in plain sight. I'll name 2 now. The first, a former U.S. president, Barack Obama. Publicly, he's revered. Privately, he was one of the worst. He wasn't there for the girls. He was there for the island boys. Young boys, trafficked and groomed. I saw him more times than I can count, always without his Secret Service detail, sometimes with his Hollywood friends, George Clooney and Tom Hanks. I still have nightmares about them, arrogant and drunk on power, slinking into the cabanas with kids barely out of childhood. The second, Bill Gates, the billionaire philanthropist, loved by the media, hailed as a savior. We called him the benefactor. And
so are we saying, Danny?
So this is the part, the Bill Gates part, that this is where the science and all the science comes in.
We used to dread seeing him naked. But he didn't come to party. He came to experiment. Genetic experiments, human experiments. I saw him inject a young girl with something they said was a genetic enhancement. She was younger than me, strapped to a table, terrified, treated like a lab rat while they muttered about seeding the future of the species. These men think they are gods, playing with life like it was theirs to own. I'm telling you now, Epstein isn't dead. They staged his death because he was too valuable. He held blackmail on some of the most powerful people on earth. Files, videos, confessions. They couldn't risk him talking, but they also couldn't risk him gone, so they hid him, stashed him under the protection of the same elite who once paid him to supply them with flesh. And they thought killing me would stop this from coming out.
I can't believe that after listening to the Brett Weinstein interview, my mind didn't immediately go back to that. I'd completely forgotten that. I'd completely forgotten the testing part.
So I listened to both of them today. So I'm wondering if that's why, like, I made the connection. Because, like, the minute I listened, because, like, I finished on my way to church this morning. I finished the Diary of a CEO podcast, and then on my way over here to record with you, I watched that video, and I was like, like, there it is. Like, that's why. But, like, Virginia said that she killed herself, right? There's no way that she didn't. Even in that, she said, like, they killed me, and I believe it. I'm surprised that she lived as long as she did. Like, so I'm surprised she wasn't killed way back when.
So the question is then, this operation is incredibly connected, incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
When we start to talk about things like eugenics and human experimentation, it makes me quite angsty, because it's not like we haven't just injected a load of people with a load of fucking experimental gene therapy in the last couple of years. However, if Virginia Giuffre was the white knight that could have brought this whole thing down, how did she get a Netflix series?
Yeah, so that's where, like, my brain goes too, because I'm like, how did she, right? Like, how did she stay alive this long? How did she, unless she was just another cog in the machine, right? Like, just another like here's a little carrot, here's a little thing.
Yeah,
I don't know, like
it's a perfect cover for it, because I've always said this. You've seen the picture, haven't you, of her with Prince Andrew in the when they're in? I think they were in the UK, or were they in Epstein's house? One of the two.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if you look at this from a point of the UK, it's the perfect thing to come out if you want people to talk about something, but talk about something in kind of like not jest, but not serious, because you've got to look at two things here. First of all, she was a 17-year-old girl that looked older than her age. And also you've got to think that the age of consent in the UK is 16. So what in the eyes of the British public, you've got, oh, Prince Andrew's like fucking teenage prostitutes. It's a bit gross, but like, it's not, if he'd done it in the UK, it wouldn't have been illegal. It was morally dubious, don't get me wrong. But it was enough to just have it go, oh, it's a thing, and then kind of wash down shore again. And, that's why he's just carried on being like Prince Andrew, right, to step back from roles and stuff like that. But let's be perfectly honest, what the fuck do the roles do anyway?
Well, especially like him, he's like 28th in line or something. I don't know the lineage, but he's not up there. He's not close.
No. He was the disposable prince. Like if any of the royal family, he's disposable.
Isn't there another one? So there's another brother.
There's fucking I don't know all the royals. There's fucking loads of them.
Yeah,
loads of them.
Anyway, that's the point.
Yeah, I've often wondered though whether Virginia Giuffre was a plant.
I wonder about that too, especially because she stayed alive for so long, because she had the Netflix special, because she was so public. And it's like, you're this public, why aren't you releasing the files?
Yeah.
Like, all the people that were there, why aren't you saying this shit? Like, you want it to come out, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
Which, like, if you're that scared of dying, you're gonna die anyway. Like, obviously they killed her.
Well, did you see the other Epstein victim? I mean, I would say, I want to say supposed Epstein victim, but like it's proven she was there, and it's I I don't think nice things happen to people that were there. So it's the
Right.
problem I've got. The problem I've got is I'm thinking some bad shit happened to this lady, but on the other hand, I'm not convinced by the authenticity of the person. And like, she was the one that came out and said that like Jeffrey Epstein like was with her, and like he turned into a reptilian halfway through.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't believe in lizard people. I know, I hot take. I know, like that's not something I fully buy into.
Controversial.
I know. Ooh, sorry. I had to get that off my chest. I knew like I was holding a secret, and I just had to tell you I don't believe in lizard people. So I don't believe that. It does make me wonder just how much like they have to have something on these guys. They have something on everybody, right? Like the blackmail runs so deep. So they must have something on these women that were there, that were victims. Obviously, like I don't want to take away from that aspect, but the fact that they're not helping the other victims, they're not helping to stop this from moving forward.
That's the thing. Where
Like-
are the other victims?
Right. I don't. And everyone's just like, it's fine. We're not gonna like. If it were me and that I was there, I would be like, we need to tell everybody everything because we can't let this happen to somebody else. But these girls, these like victims that have come forward, they're like, I was a victim of Jeffrey Epstein. I believe that you were. What do they have over you? How much money are they giving you? What is happening now that you refuse to give away everything?
Because it doesn't make sense when you look at like the Me Too the era, like the Me Too movement that went on. Because yeah, right. Obviously, there was some fucking bad things that happened, and like the casting couch is not.
Yeah.
It's not ideal for anybody. However, when something came up about those people, and then there'd be people that there was no fingers were even really being pointed at, but you will always have, as soon as an allegation is made against somebody, then some people who've also had things done to them will come out, but then you'll also get that other people going, oh, I smell fame, money, and power here, and I need to get involved with all of it. How did that not happen with Epstein? Well, we should have been flooded with Epstein, like copycat victims.
Yes. I don't know. I have a really hard time with this because like I don't want to say like it's hard to come forward and be like, hey, by the way, I was a victim of this situation. Like I want to, because you don't want people to know that about you. Like
I think it is if you've got, if something's happened to you, but I'm more interested in the liars. Where were the liars? Where were the people that came up that had the stories that just that I can come up with this?
That's true,
I can say like I was smuggled to Epstein Island in like
and get some sort of money out of it.
Suitcase.
Yeah,
or even just a bit of attention. You know, you concoct a really good story, you are at least on fucking like 100.
And
podcasts.
you're right. You are right. There's always somebody like that. You're right. Actually, I never really thought of it like that because I guess I always think of it like from an actual victim's like scenario, but there's always somebody that's like, what can I gain out of this? Yeah, where are those people? They are controlling this thing so well. All the control, like everything about it is so well controlled. The like even Jeffrey Epstein dying, hanging himself, like that motherfucker, I believe he's still alive.
And the fact that they released the video outside going, look, with nothing to do there. It's got a minute missing. There's a minute missing in the video. Like don't
pay attention to that part.
Yeah, just find that minute was so boring. It's like we took that for you.
Yeah, you didn't need to see that part anyway. Nothing happened in that minute because it was the exact same as all the other part of it. It's dumb.
Yeah.
And why do you care about the list anyway? We should just move on from this.
But what are we? I don't understand where that's come from. You know, it was so full on like you had like Cash Patel and Bongino, and like day one in the FBI, Cash was releasing this stuff. I am a fucking serial mug when it comes to this stuff, because I've always said, like, it's not the fact that I think Trump is a particularly good guy, or like I'm certainly not like a QAnon like trust the plan type person, even though I've definitely stuck my toe in there a couple of times. But there is that part of me that goes, yeah, well, sure, like fucking if there's a chance someone's a good guy, I'm gonna hope for that to be the outcome.
Right.
It's looking very much like it's not the outcome, but like for a while I was very hopeful that it might be the outcome.
No, I think that Trump's like he's just another puppet, and I think that that's kind of what we're seeing over and over. And I've kind of covered this on my podcast too. Is like I think that what we're seeing again and again and again is just another puppet, just another like. And Trump was polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
So who better to put into the office than somebody who's going to polarize the country?
Yeah.
I mean, COVID, we're just breaking people apart. Black Lives Matter, let's break people apart. Let's throw Trump up in there and like let's Biden, well, let's have this huge fight. But at the end of the day, and they're still doing, I mean, even Trump's like, you guys, he's telling his MAGA followers that now they are doing the Democrats' work. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or a Republican. If you are okay with people doing things to children, or really like imprisoning anybody and just like taking advantage of them, but especially children, we should have some words. I would love to. You should contact me, please. I'm going to send you free stickers. Send me your address. Let me know where you're
Even
at.
a hat. The hats were cool.
A hat. I'm going to send a hat. If you are advocating that we do weird things to people, let's talk. I'd love to. I'd love to communicate. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why we're polarized on this topic by anybody. I don't care what you believe. I don't care if you believe in abortion or you don't believe in abortion. I don't give a fuck what you believe. If you think that this is something that we're like, we should just forget about, let's talk.
Do you think Maxwell's going to get released?
I was wondering about that, actually. I was like, well, if there's no list and there's no crime, then why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison?
Yeah.
Of course she's going to get out.
You
There's no reason for her to be
laying
held.
the table for her, aren't they? Laying the table.
That's exactly. She can now appeal it and be like, well, they just said there are no victims. There's no list. Everything that they convicted me on with evidence didn't happen. I can be out now.
So the big question now is then, because I think this is even more interesting than Epstein, because it's been like one of the most interesting conspiracy theories of all time. You know, it's good with the physical evidence, as in like a fucking island. Do you know what I mean? There's like arrests, suicides, people still in prison, so like for like sex trafficking, nobody to nobody. I keep thinking to myself now, like, well, what was the reason for letting it leak out? Because that's
something else up.
Yeah, because like you say, it's been so well controlled. It's been so well controlled that they've arrested somebody for hideous crimes, and obviously at some point they've turned around and said, like, because I think Jeffrey Epstein's still alive.
Yeah.
And they've turned around and said, you know, like, Jeff, this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to do this. You're going to get out. We're going to go take you to probably a different island. It's probably all that's happened is that there's been a move of islands.
Mm-hmm.
But it shows the lack of shame, the lack of, well, just worry. Like it shows that these people are untouchable. Because if there was any way that some of any of this stuff could stick to you, there's no way you would do that willingly.
I think that they love the game that they get to play with the general public.
Yeah.
And we see it over and over. I mean, a lot of us in our arena that we work in, we're like watching it. And we're like, we can see that you're just playing a game with us, like a cat and mouse game. Whereas like the rest of the world, like the people that are just, I don't know, believing that the government has their best interest in their heart, they are just going along with it. And they love that. They love, and I think sometimes they do it because they like to just see if they can, or they like to just see the ripple effect of like, oh, let's give them something else about Epstein because we're going to do this. And then we're going to sit back and laugh about it. Like, what the fuck? Like, just stop being like shitty people. I think that if we knew, and that's where like I almost don't even want to know, if we knew what they were really doing, we would lose our fucking minds.
I think so, because that's like that. If your cover story is the systematic abuse of children and young women and young men by the world's elites and like Hollywood celebrities and musicians and stuff like that, if that's your cover story, like that's what you're going in with, something that would, I'm absolutely convinced that there was people on that flight manifest that if people are crazy like now, there are people that if they were to find out, like Barack Obama, for instance, if he's done something like that, right, repugnant, there are people that would end themselves. Do you know what I mean? Then admit the guy that they've championed for this long has been up to stuff with George Clooney and possibly Asian children on a boat. They wouldn't be able to fucking handle that.
I think that's why people stay ignorant. I think that that's like the easiest way to just not handle it. If you just don't know about it or you just don't believe it, you choose not to believe it. Like, it's so much easier. And there are some days where I'm like, man, I wish I lived in that world, because that would be easier than knowing the shit that I know.
Yeah.
Because like, this is obviously giving me nightmares.
Yeah. I see now you brought that recording up of Guthrie. I know I'm saying that wrong still. I can't help but wonder, because that only came out a couple of weeks ago, didn't it? Really,
I don't know.
really,
like, I just got it today from somebody that sent it to me. So
yeah, it's like really recent. Like if it was within July, I think, maybe the end of June. So if that's only just come out, that makes me wonder whether, like where it said that these like dead man switches have been sent to like trusted sources.
Who are those trusted sources?
Who's one of those trusted sources? And is one of those trusted sources connected to Eric Weinstein?
Maybe. I don't know. I think that one of those. I think that it's hard to. How did she even find trusted sources?
Mm-hmm.
Because how connected was Jeffrey Epstein? I've been doing just the research right now. Like, where I'm at in my research is still like the history as we have been told it, not the conspiracies. Like, because that's how I always lay out my podcast, right? So like everything that we have been told. So like Wikipedia, and it sounds dumb that like I basically go to Wikipedia and like read you what's on there, because like that's what they want you to believe. So of course, like that's where I'm like, look at this, here we go. And then I'm like, no. Now that you know what they want you to believe, here's what's actually happening in the background. So like, I forgot where I was going with this. Even on Wikipedia, it's connecting Jeffrey Epstein to so many people. Like so many people. They have taken out all of Bill Clinton off Wikipedia. He's not associated with Jeffrey Epstein at all anymore. And they don't include Trump in that, but it makes you wonder, like, Trump was working very heavily in Florida and very heavily in New York, where Jeffrey Epstein was also working very heavily. Like, there's no way that these two huge, like, very wealthy men aren't running in some sort of similar circle.
Yeah, and in that, to be honest, you can play devil's advocate there to defend people and say, well, if you've got socialites like Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, there's going to be photographs with them and everybody.
And there are.
Yeah. So it's and that's the thing with Elon Musk, the picture of him and Ghislaine Maxwell. I still hope for some sort of. So I don't even know if good's the right word. Just some independent people. Some people that aren't part of like this strange cabal. And I'm not sure. I really don't know when it comes to the Musk and Trump thing, but I do know that there is more people out there which seem to have closer ties to Jeffrey Epstein than Elon Musk has to Jeffrey Epstein, and then you've got the strange story because I don't know, was there ever any of actual evidence about the supposed thing of what happened in Mar-a-Lago between Trump and Epstein, where Epstein made like inappropriate, an inappropriate advance to one of the female staff, and that's what got him barred from Mar-a-Lago? Or is that just like, a wives' tale type thing that's been put out there?
Feels like a convenient cover up, but like if we are to believe what Virginia Giuffre was saying, in that like she worked at Mar-a-Lago and she was recruited there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many girls were recruited before he was barred from like Mar-a-Lago? Yeah, whatever.
How many people were recruited through it?
But it makes me wonder, like, I mean, again, I focus on the US because that's where I'm at, but I'm curious about like the UK, because how connected was Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell? Like the connections there are outrageous. And if we're going to tie it all in to the Rothschilds, they're all Jewish. And I'm not trying to, okay, that sounds really bad when I say it like that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm getting so canceled. But like, I made a connection between like the Catholic Church and people meeting in the Catholic Church. And that's how that, like, there's like an underground, like, community there. Well, why can't there also be an underground community in the Jewish church? Is that what they call it? The synagogue?
See, I feel that because I think there's something really interesting with the whole like anti-Semitic thing, which is being thrown out now, because it's so rife. Like it's so, never been cooler to hate Jews. Like if you've ever wanted to hate Jews, now's a good time to start. It would appear, like there's clubs you can join. There's like a newsletter.
But it's totally fine to hate Christians, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's where like I feel like there's always an agenda when they're like, you can't hate. No, that sounds okay. Again, can we cut that out? Can you cut that part out, because that's gonna sound fucked. That's not what I mean. I'm not saying what I mean. I'm gonna get so good.
But I think there is. If they want you to hate something, I think there's probably a reason not to hate it, is the way I look at it.
Right.
Yeah. And
if they're stopping you from talking about something, I think that there's also something there too. That's what I was trying to say. Like, I'm not trying to say like you should hate somebody. I'm just trying to say like,
but like there's an interesting England thing with this though. Okay. So we often talk about the banking families and stuff like that, and as soon as you go down that sort of Zionist Jews run the world thing, it doesn't take long before you get back to London, and like then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the fucking world's run out of like London and Israel.
It is.
However, that doesn't make sense, because right now London has been like flooded with Muslim immigrants. So if you were Jewish and you ran the world, why would you flood one of the financial hubs of the UK of the world with a religion of people that want to exterminate you?
Because they're trying to move back to Israel. They own Israel, so let's move out of London. But we need an excuse to leave London.
Maybe that's not bad. I'll take that. I'll take that.
I mean, it's just something. It popped in my head. That's
yeah. But it seems I would be far more. And again, this is probably with like all of the research of reading the back of like toothpaste. I think I think we kind of know there's a secret religion. I think that's the thing.
Satanism.
So I think there is people out there that use surface religion as a mask. So when people say like Jews run the world, I don't think they do. I think there is people masquerading as Jews that have an entirely different belief structure.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I did bring that up in my Rothschilds episode, but I also think those exact same people are Catholic as well.
Yes.
And like those exact same people, like they're in every religion, but they're like the extremist part. They're like the most elite of those religions, because I don't think, and this is my wholehearted full belief, like my personal belief, I don't think that Catholics or Jews or anybody is bad. I think there's great people all around the world. I love people. I'm a lover of people. I do. I think that the people that are like the Jews are running the world, or like the Vatican, right? Like not the whole Vatican. I'm sure that there's got to be one good person there, right? Maybe. I don't think it's like
Steve the accountant, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that guy. No, any accountant is bad. Maybe like a secretary. Anyway, not the point. The point is like
not the librarian.
I can go down to the Catholic Church down the street and be like, these are all decent people. I love these people. Some of my best friends are Catholic. But I think that the religion as a whole is being run by like an underground, like secret religion that is not worshiping God. Satan is running the world right now.
I see. I think that's far closer to what the actual story is with Epstein.
Yeah.
I think that's far closer to the to the truth of what's actually going. Like the blackmail thing might be just that. Might be just that. Just to control people. But it's the purpose. That's the interesting part now. Is like what's the purpose of it? Because if you want to hold power over people, then there's a reason for wanting to hold power over people, and I don't know if we necessarily understand what, like, just to say, oh, it's like Israeli intelligence, oh, it's CIA. It doesn't make a whole load of sense. Like, what the fuck does the CIA want with George Clooney? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, they can.
The second worst Batman of all time.
Who's the worst Batman?
Oh no! I was going to say, oh no. Do you know what? He was the worst. Sorry, I was going to give Val Kilmer some unfortunate shade there, but no, he just edges it, doesn't he?
I feel like I haven't seen enough Batman movies. Like Christian Bale's the only Batman I know.
Watch Michael Keaton's the best Batman. Oh, and the Batman, the one with the vampire,
with, like Poison Ivy and Iceman.
No, that's Batman. One? That's Batman and Robin.
Oh, was that good? I watched that as a kid.
It's constantly referred to as the worst film of all time.
Well, I've seen that one. This is what they want. They want us to debate Batman movies versus.
That's the intrusive thought gun.
Right.
It's like you need to shut them up, like Batman.
And they don't even use a gun. In the episode that I did, like in the research that I found, it's not like a gun. It's your phone. I mean, I charge my phone right next to my nightstand. They can easily like send waves out. I did all the research into it. I don't remember it now, but like they send waves.
This doesn't sound crazy at all.
They're getting in my brain. I feel like the guy, like the alien guy. No, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Isn't there an you probably researched this when you were doing that, a proposal to do like targeted advertising during sleep?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
But if you can target advertising into your brain, what else can you put into your brain? Like that's where like it doesn't make any sense. You're not just putting a McDonald's ad in my head to make me want to wake up and have a McGriddle for breakfast.
Yeah. You know, I did. I like this. It's gonna like segue slightly this, but fuck it. I remember thinking this during like COVID when people were getting vaccinated and I didn't want to get vaccinated, and I saw like the vitriol against people that didn't. I remember all of a sudden, like, do you remember the like Judge Dredd movie? Did you ever see the Judge Dredd movie with Sylvester Stallone in it?
No.
No, it's. I mean, it's for all intents and purposes right now, it is just like full on dystopian fodder. You've got a mega city, then on the outskirts of that, outside, you've got like the little clusters of people that live outside of like the mega city. And I always remember like thinking to myself before that, what would do that? Like, why? How? What would be so bad apart from the fact maybe you hate neon signs? What would be so bad to leave like the city and go and live like in an abandoned like Ford truck with a tarpaulin over the top of it, and you go, "This is my house now." And I think this is it, isn't it? Like this is like when you get to the point of 24-hour surveillance and like sticking Coca-Cola adverts into your dreams. Like that's all of a sudden that tarpaulin and like Ford truck like starting to feel a bit cozy.
Right. Because like when you want to protect yourself from the crazy shit, you find that you remove yourself from society. I mean, shit, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I live out on 40 acres in the middle of nowhere now. Because like I couldn't deal with the city anymore. Why do you think we moved out to the middle of nowhere? Like, it sounds, I mean, we wanted to live here. Like, this was always the goal eventually. But the more I researched, the more I was like, oh my, we have to live there. We need to grow our, like, wherever there was. We didn't know yet, right? But, like, at the time, we lived in the city of Denver, which, like, we wanted to grow our own food. We wanted to know what was going into our food. We want to make everything from scratch. And I feel like I beat this horse a lot. I talk about this a lot because it's so important. Like, I know what's going into my food. I know what's going into my kids' bodies. Because if I take them down, like, have you noticed how many kids are obese? And I don't think it's, I mean, I'm sure it's partially because like they sit on the couch and play video games. But like I notice a lot of kids that are obese that are outside playing all the time. They're outside, they're like working, they're doing all these things. You're like, why? As a child, why are you obese? It's because the shit that they're eating.
I think it is. But I think there's an excess there, and I think there's something so addictive about like refined sugar.
Exactly. That's what like they're eating all the processed foods, all the crazy shit.
But it's I think you can get away with some of that stuff, but it's just the volume of it, because obviously kids have that stuff. They just want more and more and more and more of it. So for instance, I've got a quite funny story about this. My son's not allowed, or unless it's like a real like special occasion, he's not allowed like fizzy soda at all.
Oh
He's
yeah.
just he drinks water. And we were away at a thing, and there was like a celebratory meal at the end, and we were all split up. I was on a different table to him because he was with other kids. And when I was ordering our food, they got the way because right, this might seem wild. So you know the whole idea of like drink refills. That's not a thing in the UK. Like that's something you have to order that specially. Like you can get like a bottomless glass, but that's not standard.
Okay.
So
and
said,
do you have to pay for water there too?
No, you will. They will try and give you bottled water, but you can request tap water.
Okay. I think I have to pay
yeah. So I'm a water snob anyway, so like fucking tap water. So I ordered food for my kid, and the way it came over said, "Do you want a bottomless glass?" I'm like, yeah, okay, it's like a special occasion. Anyway, stuff happened. Didn't involve my son, but I thought I'd go over to him, and just make sure. It was one of those things where nothing going on around here has anything to do with you, does it?
Right.
And he immediately started talking to me. Do you remember the part? Have you seen Star Wars? You must have seen Star Wars.
Sure.
No?
I've seen parts of Star Wars.
Yeah. Do you remember the bit where the silver robot, the gold robot, C-3PO is talking to the the little furry bear things?
Yeah. Because I thought the bears were cute.
That's how my son started speaking to me. And I had to grip him by the side of the face like, how many fizzy drinks have you had? He said, I've had 5.
Oh my God. You're like, you're cut off. You're out of here.
But I instantly noticed how fucking wide his eyes were. Like, he was fucking out of there. Like, twice in my 20s, I've been that high.
How long did it take him to go to sleep that night?
We had to take him somewhere else and let him run around for a while.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way that guy went to sleep. No. He was up all night, like staring at you like this,
like on the ceiling.
Oh my gosh! Oh my, can I tell you about my ghost? Sorry, that was complete change of subject.
No, it's grand. I'm here for it.
I'll tell you about my ghost. It's really scary. I'm freaking out. Do you believe in ghosts, Lee?
Right. You go, because I've got a couple of interesting things. I never used to believe in ghosts, and I still don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in demons.
Okay, so maybe you can give me some insight on this.
Right.
So my dad, the guy who raised me, he's not my biological father. He's my father. So he raises me, and he's very sensitive to those types of things. So I grow up thinking, and he's also like conspiracy theory guy.
You didn't grow up on an island, did you?
No.
Dad's name not Jeff?
No.
Not good.
I see where we're going here. I actually have some names I would like to release next. So no, he's like sensitive. So he can sense ghosts. So my whole life I'm like, okay, well, if there's ghosts, like he'll be able to tell me. I'm not a sensitive person. I've never seen a ghost. I've never interacted with one. Like I get freaked out because I've seen too many scary movies, but like I'm not a sensitive person to when it comes to ghosts. I'm laying in my bed the other night. It's like 10:30. All the lights in the house are off. My husband's in like our bathroom, which is connected, like the ensuite bathroom. The light is on in there, but everywhere else in the house, it's all dark. I'm laying in bed. I look over to our bedroom door is wide open to the rest of the house. And I see this little white silhouette thing. But because everything is so dark out there, I think that it's just my son because it's the same size as my son, same outline-ish of my son, and it's all white, but my son was wearing white pajamas that night. So I was like, okay, so I yelled his name. And then I hear the footsteps. I'm not making this shit up. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Back to his room, which is something that he would do. All these things are totally like things that he would do. And sometimes he stays up late. So we're like, okay, I'm like, you better go check that out. You better go get on him because like he's not supposed to be out of bed. It's 10:30. I put him in bed 2.5 hours ago. Taylor goes. He looks through the whole house. He checks on Ivan first. Ooh. He checks on my son first. And he looks in there. Dude's sleeping. Full dead. Like full dead. He is breathing, like steady breathing. He's been asleep for a while. Like there was no way he was up. Taylor checks the rest of the house. Totally fine. Everything's normal. There's nothing in our house. And my son, who presumably was in my doorway, sleeping. So at the same time, unbeknownst to me at the time, because I was freaking out about this thing that I had just seen, my husband, because he was looking at me, he was brushing his teeth and looking at me, and I looked over and I was like, son? So at the same time, from behind our bed, my husband sees this like flashlight turn on. And then as soon as I call my son's name and the like little ghost, I'm assuming, runs off, the light turns off.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
I'd be moving back to the city.
I was like, what do we do? I'm freaking out, man. So do you think it was a ghost? Do you think I saw a ghost?
And right. I'll give my 50 pence worth in a second. I've got a couple of interesting things.
Okay.
First of all, I was working in a house. There is a house over here that is one of the so I live in a small village called Onken, which is connected to another, which is supposedly our city, which like you would laugh at as the idea of that it's a city. And this, the house I was in, like it's over well over 100 years old. Like there is paintings of it where like Douglas, the city, isn't there. It's just a house in the middle of fields. They don't actually live in that house. They live in an extension that was built off it, and because the house is so like valuable inside, like you're talking like 15-foot high rooms with like 10-foot tall paintings and stuff with like that are connected, hanging off the wall with chains type thing, sort of thing. And like there's in the library / sitting room, there's like a full size harp. Like we're full Downton Abbey here. And so I was contracted to paint the windows on the inside of that room, on the inside of the house.
Paint the windows, like paint them what?
Just paint them. When I'm not like ranting and raving about lizard people, I'm a decorator.
Right, but like, why would you paint windows? Like, don't you want them to be open to the outside?
No, because I mean like the wooden surrounds of the windows.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were like painting the windows. I'm like, why?
No, not the glass.
Okay.
So I do the usual decorator thing of going in the house. You go as far up as you can, and then as far right as you can, and start there. And that ended up being like the three stories of the house. That was the loft. I opened the loft door, and there is a Beetlejuice style fucking train set in there. You know, the whole village.
Yeah. Yep.
Bearing in mind, I should have said this at the beginning. The proprietors of the house are on holiday. That's why the gun is done. So there's no one else in there. Motherfucking lights are on in the houses. There's a train going around the tracks, and there is fucking smoke coming out of the chimneys. No word of a lie. And I opened the door, took one look inside, went, nope, and closed the door. I went back down. I couldn't drive at the time, so I've been dropped off. I worked in because they had like a porch area with a big door and like the windows which we were painting. I wedged the door open because I wouldn't be in the port. I wouldn't be on my own without an escape plan.
Yeah.
So I wedged the front door open so it couldn't shut on me. And but on the opposite side of the other door, I wedged the door for the house closed so it couldn't open there. And I nervily worked for the next 4 hours until I was picked up to go somewhere else.
Oh my goodness.
I said to the guy I was working for, I said my mate Paul used to work with me at the time. So is Paul in tomorrow? I suggested I'm not going in there again on my own. And so long story short, Paul comes back to work with us. That's fine. Nothing else is weird. Only weird thing I find is that when I go in one of the bedrooms, if you can imagine quite a large bedroom, but everything is mirrored, like all of the units and stuff all around is mirrored. If you stand in the middle of the room, you don't reflect in the glass. Stand in the middle of the room, you're not in any of the mirrors. It was like
that's weird.
Yeah, well, it had to be set up that way as well. It had to be, because there can't be an accident.
No way.
So that was odd. And then
so wait, did Paul see the village?
Oh yeah. So the next day he came up. We went upstairs to see that there was a train set there, but it wasn't going. And then when we turned it on, there was no lights in the houses, but the train went round. So the lights and the smoke coming out of the chimneys were not part of the display when we tried to turn it back on.
Did you say Beetlejuice 3 times?
No, I absolutely didn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah. So that's how old this house was. There was like a skeleton. The house had like a skeleton to it. So each room instead of just opening the door into a room, there was like a 2 foot or 3 foot like gap with another small door in front of you, so the servants could walk through the skeleton of the house, and the posh people never had to see.
Don't
the
love
servants.
that.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's kind of cool.
So we were working in the house, and there's a slave or servant staircase at the back of the house as well, which so they don't have to interfere with the actual residents. And we found the staircase that went down into like the basement, and we're like, we need to get down there. Like, how do we get down there? And the door that goes down into the basement, because it was like a glass panel sort of thing on the door, was barricaded from the inside with suitcases.
Nope.
So yeah. So
that's gonna be a hard pass for me.
What we found is that we could break in to because there was like a storm drain. So this is like a subterranean. Like, this is not painting me the most professional light, but I wouldn't do that at all the places.
But also, you were contracted to do all the painting, so
we had to get to the windows. We did have to get to the windows. So there was like a storm like drain. To be perfectly honest, it's full on fucking mud flood territory now. Thinking about it, because the whole bottom floor of the house was like subterranean. And we found that where the stables were, there was a gap in the wall, and that dropped you down into the storm drain. So we could get into like the storm drain through the stables. So we did that. We scrambled over.
Why? They obviously don't want you down there.
I have no idea. And so what we had to do was, because it was so dark in like the storm drain, so it was like this arched brickwork thing. I had we were back in really early camera phone sort of thing, so the light on the phone couldn't be used as a torch. So what we were doing was, I had because Paul's lighter than me, I had my arms around Paul, and he was taking pictures of the floor, and then we were walking forward. The thought being that if there was a drop or something like that, I could grab Paul and drag him backwards. So that was the plan.
Why did you even go down there at all?
Because it's adventure, and I'd do it again. So
I wouldn't.
So we get around to the windows, and in the windows there is the first thing we noticed was that the table was set in the kitchen. There was no food on it, but all the plates and stuff were out.
That's not completely weird. I don't think that's like that weird. Some fancy people do that, where like they have their table always set up.
Yeah, but that what I'm saying is you can't get down there because the door was barricaded from the inside.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, and then there was one long corridor, and this is where, when I've tried to tell people about this, like the people's eyes roll, because it sounds too fucking horror movie. But there was a rocking chair at the end of the hallway, but there was no latches on that window. So we thought, we can fucking get in here. So we both got up, put our scrapers underneath the window to try and prise the window open, and the rocking chair started rocking, and that's when me and Paul went, we should just not. This is like, now we should just not.
Yeah.
So that we got out of there.
Yeah, all the other things are not weird enough. So yeah, the rocking chair is the thing that got you.
Yeah.
The barricaded door from the inside that nobody could have done. That's not a warning sign. What?
It wasn't a warning sign. That was a challenge.
No, it wasn't. No, that's not a challenge. That's a warning. Hey, maybe this is not the place to go.
I agree. I never felt comfortable in there either. It was a horrible feeling place to be. Even before we did that. The other weird thing that happened to me was when we went ghost hunting, which we told you about ages ago.
I feel like every time I'm on this podcast, we talk about ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts, because I don't think we have a choice with what happens like after we go.
Right, but aren't ghosts just like trapped souls?
See, I'm not right. Have you ever done like any like hallucinogens?
Not enough.
No. So I've only done enough once. I don't know. Have we spoke about this when you've been on the podcast?
Maybe. I don't really remember.
So I've done enough to where I literally have my fucking soul scooped out of my body and thrown through the fucking ether.
Yeah,
like
no, we have not had this conversation.
Yeah, so the I remember I remember the being told by the person that was kind of guiding us through the trip that because I felt like I was shaking. That's like, you're not shaking. And the person that was with us, like, for want of better words, we'll call him a shaman. It turned around and said, no, you're just like, your soul wants to leave your body, and you're trying to hold on to your soul, and that's what's causing the friction. You need to relax and just like let your soul go. That's not a calming thing to say to somebody, if I'm honest.
No, that feels a little weird.
So I remember lying there, and I calmed down, and I felt what felt like fingers scoop into the back of my neck and pull me out, and then just accelerate me at like I'm talking like fucking Mac bullshit, like feeling of like speed here. And I had the whole feeling of feeling like I pierced something. I was in a like, and it's not like, it wasn't like necessarily like a dream state either. I was lucid. I was there. I had no physical form, and I was in a completely white room with a large wooden tapestry in front of me, and this tapestry moved like clockwork. And it was like because I hadn't even done a lot of like research into like psychedelics at the time, but I'd now refer to that as like one of the machine elves that you hear like people talk about.
Did you do DMT?
No, like loads of mushrooms, like a high dose, like and the
somebody recently asked me to do an episode on DMT, and I was like, well, I should try DMT before I do the episode. And then I was like, I don't know about that.
I was supposed to before COVID. Actually, I was supposed to go somewhere and do it, but I didn't. What's the best way of doing this? Like, there may or may not have been like chemists, like, I know, like real fucking serious people that were involved in crossing the strains of all this sort of shit.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
Okay.
It wasn't. This is not.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, this is not just buying a bag of something that somebody
like
grew in
modified
their fucking loft.
Mushrooms. Okay.
Yeah. And so this thing, and every time it would unlock something, it would tell me something fucking horrible about myself, about my personality, about where like you're fucking nasty to your mother, you're fucking you're fucking arrogant, like you don't spend enough time with fucking your father, that type of thing, just one after another. And then the weirdest part of it was I needed to go to the toilet, and the trip let me go to the toilet. So I woke up, I came round, I wasn't hallucinating. I got to my feet. I went, I need to go to the toilet. I went to the toilet, and I could feel like a pull thing. And I thought, oh, it wants me back. I lay down, and I had the whole thing again. It scooped me out, threw me forward, and put me precisely back where I was in front of this.
That's so wild.
Carving. Yeah, it was fucking. That happened 3 times through the course of this. It let me stop. Like, when it was getting too much, it would let me stop, let me come out of it. I had a drink. I lay back down, and I was scooped out again. This went on for about 4 hours.
Oh my gosh. I've heard some crazy things about psychedelics.
I will answer your question in a second about ghosts. But eventually, when it did enough of that shattered in front of me, like the thing, and I was left with a mosaic, like a white, and I could still remember the blues. It was like an aquamarine blue. It was like a more sky blue color, and there was an arrowhead in the top corner. And this was the wild thing about it was, the guy that was guiding us through, I didn't speak, and he told me what to do. I heard his voice say, you need to think about something that you care about. So I started thinking about my son, and then the more I thought about my son, the more the tiles moved out of the way and allowed this like arrowhead thing to like slither through the tiles like a snake. And I don't know why, but I knew that if I could get it to the bottom right hand corner, something would happen. So I just kept concentrating. This thing kept moving around through this labyrinth. Then that went there, and then the whole thing fucking exploded at me. And I was stood face to face with face to face. That's an ironic thing to say, with a man in a suit and a bowler hat with no face, just completely smooth face. And he was stood like inches from me, just like kind of looking at me. And then the really irritating part is, I then saw flashes of things in the form of oil paintings, but I can't remember what they are. It's almost like I can kind of see them, but I can't say what they were. It's the most mental mind block I've ever had. I don't know what the paintings are. I'd love to fucking know. And then
that is very odd.
Yeah, it's kind of brought me down there. I ended up feeling like I was outside, but I wasn't outside. And it was almost like weird thing was I had this motion, like putting your hands together like that in my head when it came out. And even now that feels weird when I do it. And it felt like I was getting given something, as if to say, right, you've worked on some stuff, now go home. Talk about this. We'll see you again in the future. It's very fucking strange. But on the reason I brought that up was that's why I brought this up. I don't think we have a choice when it's time for us to go there. I think we'll call it the fucking psychedelic realm. You know, some people call it DMT realm, that sort of thing. I think that is either a direct line to a try before you buy of death, and that's where consciousness goes after death, or it is it's the waiting room. It's where you go first before you go to the next part. And the reason I say I don't think we can hang around is because I think that scoop happens. There was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do to keep myself in my body with that.
Huh.
So that's why I think what you saw was a demon.
So, because I'm curious about this, because my son has a imaginary friend.
Oh, great.
Yeah. His name, because he has told me repeatedly that it's a boy, and his name is Amy, and he's a race car driver.
Amy?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
I know. We don't know anybody named it. And at first he said Amy. I was like, oh, a girl, right? Like, that's a girl's name. No. And I don't know anybody named Amy. That's and then weird. He told his nanny that he asked her, she's pregnant. So he asked her, does it hurt if you get kicked in the stomach? And she's telling me this, and I was like, that's a really weird thing to ask a pregnant woman. Like, yeah, that probably hurts. Then I was like, okay, maybe she's feeling kicks from the baby. Like, yeah. You know, and then she said, well, yeah, it hurts. Like, wouldn't it hurt if you got kicked in the stomach? He said, yeah, at night, ghosts come into my room and kick me in the stomach, and then they leave. Right. So here I am, like, is it a demon? Like, oh. I asked, is it Amy that's kicking you? He said, no, Amy doesn't kick me. Amy just sleeps with me.
I don't like any of that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm freaking out. Man. Ooh.
The other weird thing, I've definitely said this on the podcast before. And to be fair, saying that, to be fair, we've got a bigger audience now than last time, where I shared my like hallucinogen like stories. So there's definitely fresh ears on that. I feel whenever I bring that up, at least I know I'm consistent with it. But there was a time. It happened twice. I wasn't there for once. It was my ex partner. The mother of my son, she was bathing him, and he told her that he could see glowing balls of light in the room, like colored balls. And he woke me up one night, like inconsolable, like there. So when I eventually calmed him down, so what's up? We said, like the lights in the room scared me. Like the lights in the room are scaring me. And I said, "Oh, come on then, let's go back, let's go in your room." I said, "You can stay in here with me." So, but let's just to now to work out what's going on. Let's just go and have a look, because it might be the lights in your room or
right.
And the first thing that I caught me as fucking weird, to the point I noticed it, was I've done my like my son's back wall where the headboard of his bed is, like a flat earther's nightmare. Like I've got planets, I've got stars, I've got rockets going up to them, like, that hate it. But all the stars and the moon all glow. So, but I know before, like, see, because it used to be, when I used to be bothered about it, I'd have to like leave the curtains open and stuff like that, and leave the light on to try and charge the glowy shit up on it.
Yeah.
And it would never last very long. So this is winter time, so it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, so it's still pitch black.
Yeah.
I walked in that room and those motherfuckers were shining like they were fucking powered. They should have been dark. So whatever was in Arthur's room charged them in the same way that sunshine would do.
How old was he at that time?
He was 6.
Okay, because my son is 4 and he won't sleep with the door closed because he's scared.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, that's totally normal for like a 4-year-old to be scared of the dark.
But yeah, like when I was speaking to him, he said there was balls of light floating in the door and floating in the around the room and on the floor as well. To the point where he even explained to me that he had to tiptoe around the balls to get out of the room.
I'm surprised he got out of bed.
Never happened again. That's the only time. But weird fucking shit happens, man. I'm convinced that there is. You know what's the is it up until the age of like 10 or something like that, where you're essentially, your brain is in a dream state if you're a child.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm convinced that there's a point there where people are just more sensitive. They see more shit.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that's why I'm like, okay, I don't know if he's sensitive. I don't know. Maybe it is just like an imaginary friend. He brings up Amy all the time. I'm like, we're not going to talk about Amy anymore. And he said, no, I need to talk about Amy. I need to talk to Amy. I'm like, that thing, that Amy is made up. But the other night, after I put him to bed, this was
trans race car driver.
This is a couple days like after he was having a full-blown conversation in his room after he's in bed. I'm like, Ivan, dang it, I really don't want to say his name on the podcast. I'm like, dude, like, who are you talking to? And he was like, Amy. I'm talking to Amy. I'm like, you and Amy's conversation needs to be quieter because you're gonna wake up your brother. Like, stop talking so loud.
So what has your father got any stories? If you say he's sensitive?
Yes, he has a lot of stories. I'll have to share that on the next podcast, I think, because I have to get out of here soon. But I'm gonna share a story next time about, because my mom was like, well, did you look up a race car driver named Amy? And I was like, no. I mean, I was kind of too scared to. She's like, well, you remember that story about your dad? My dad was in a basement. This is a quick story. He was in a basement painting or whatever. They were fixing up the house for somebody to move into it. He was in this basement of this house he had never been in before. And this girl appeared to him, and they can't remember her name now, but she told my dad her name and told her that she was killed in that basement. So my dad goes upstairs. My mom was working upstairs. My dad was working downstairs. He's just got goosebumps. Like, he just saw a ghost. He literally just saw a ghost. And he tells my mom this. My mom Googles this girl, and she went missing. Not even like on this trail that kind of goes right around that house. She went missing in 1953 on that trail. Never to be found again. and she appeared to my dad. I'm literally getting goosebumps right now thinking about it because I went to that house and I thought it was creepy, so I didn't stay there very long. Like I just went there to drop off some dinner. Like she appeared to my dad and was like, this is my name and I was killed here.
That's fucking...
And she went missing. She was like 16 or 17. She went missing in 1953.
Well, you're going to be back with us on Thursday. Well, you can tell us that I've got remind me on Thursday to tell you a story about my grandfather and what he caught, or what he supposedly caught. You'll like it. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I think we should do some ghost stories back and forth. This would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
Tell people what this will be going out tomorrow morning. So tell people what's coming up on the Rabbit Hole podcast.
So on Wednesday, I'm doing the Mountain Dew conspiracy theories. So like all the theories about Mountain Dew and like the different like drops of the flavors and stuff. Last week we did Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that great of a Bigfoot episode. You could skip it if you want to. That sounds bad. I needed a break, like a brain break, because I was having like crazy nightmares, and so I did Bigfoot, but I did like, I don't know, like a very brief overview of Bigfoot. So it's not bad. Just kind of tells you who Bigfoot is.
I look forward to that. I look forward because the Mountain Dew thing, that's like stuff's happened when they drop new flavors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Also, they shouldn't. Realistically, I don't think in any situation you should be able to put normal household products in a flavored drink and that drink to glow.
Right. Well,
that's just not ideal.
Or a mouse to dissolve in the drink in 45 days.
No way.
Yeah, I cover that. Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah. Ugh.
That's
if you drink Mountain Dew, you definitely should not.
I mean, Coke cleans pennies, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, Coke cleans a lot of things. They say, you know, if you can't get something clean, put Coke on it, which I also am like, you should not be drinking that. No.
Such a thing. Like Pepsi? Can we have Pepsi? I've always preferred Pepsi.
I prefer Pepsi too. I don't know, but I'm gonna say probably not.
I'm not going to do the normal like stuff where we try and advertise ourselves. Everybody knows as a patron now. Everyone knows I want them to leave comments on the episode. What I would absolutely like you guys to do is go to the link that's in the description, which is the British Podcast Awards. Like say it because like Danny's got an award, and I feel we should have one now too.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote. Can I vote?
Yeah, you can vote. So yeah, go British Podcast Awards. Vote for us. Don't vote for the better podcasts because loads of people vote for them anyway. So like, just vote for us. Other than that, we will be back tomorrow with the Grumbling Grunts podcast. I'm gonna fill in for Ollie. Yeah, it's gonna be a great week. Let's embrace the fact that Ollie's away. Let's embrace the fact that the podcast is just like less gay. And you know, I've been looking forward to it. Like he thinks he's on holiday. He's not the one that's on holiday. But
Ollie.
Thanks, Daddy. I look forward to speaking to you on Thursday.
I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for having me.
No, it's always a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military establishment. And they are not what they claimed to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids. Visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.